thanks for coming.
Today from sunny Orlando, Florida, and CFE Arena on the UCF campus, sophomore guard Troy Copain leads a young and talented Cincinnati team against UCF and fantastic freshman B.J. Taylor. It's today from sunny Orlando, Florida, and CFE Arena on the UCF campus, sophomore guard Troy Copain leads a young and talented Cincinnati team against UCF and fantastic freshman B.J. Taylor. It's Cincinnati and UCF right now. The city beautiful Orlando, Florida is still warm and sunny while the northern U.S. is still in a deep freeze. It's also home to UCF, and today from CFE Arena, the Knights play host to Cincinnati in an American Conference matchup. Hello again, everyone. Welcome to sunny Orlando, Florida. Great to have with us. He's Steve Wolf, former star captain at Xavier. I'm Dave Ryan. We're joined by Jamie Erdahl in a moment. And partner, one of the most intriguing stories in college basketball has got to be Cincinnati. Mick Cronin, their head coach, lost for the year in medical condition. So Larry Davis, his associate head coach, takes over. And since then, the Bearcats are 6-3.
Coach Davis has done a great job. And you realize that Mick Cronin's involved in the day-to-day operations, too. He's resting comfortably at home. But both of these guys have worked well together. The last 9 games proves that.
The signature for Cincinnati has always been defense. That's the case again this year. 6th best in the country, leading the American Conference, allowing only 55 points a game. 6 times this year they've allowed less than 50. Their best against St. Francis, 37 points allowed. One key defender, freshman Gary Clark.
Gary Clark is a freshman, but he's really not a freshman in the eyes of this coaching staff. He's a throwback player. 2nd in the conference in rebounding. Really plays solid defense. They love the way this kid plays. He's going to have a really good game this afternoon against UCF.
Clark playing so well for Cincinnati. For UCF, a couple of Frosh doing a great job as well, and Adonis Enriquez and B.J. Taylor.
Now, Taylor is the leading scorer on his team, and he can get it inside. He can also shoot the 3-ball, but when he penetrates, he sinks that defense and opens it up for Adonis Enriquez, who is shooting lights out from behind the arc, shooting it at 42% behind the 3-point line. Both of these guys together averaging 26 points a game.
Steve, when we come back, it is game time. Cincinnati 30th in the RPI with big wins over SMU and San Diego State. UCF looking for a signature win. They can get that right now against the Bearcats.
College basketball on CBS Sports Network is being brought to you by A. College basketball on CBS Sports Network is being brought to you by AT&T, mobilizing your world. By the all-new LG G3. And by Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, the perfect combination of chocolate and peanut butter.
It's really a great setup here at UCF, White House Network Stadium, home of the Knights football program, right next to restaurants, shops, and then CFC Arena, home to Knights basketball. Now let's welcome in the 3rd member of our crew today, Jamie Erdahl. Earlier, she caught up with interim Cincinnati head coach Larry Davis.
Well, Coach, everyone knows the unfortunate reasons why you're at the helm at this point in January of the Cincinnati program. But in terms of your relationship with Mick Cronin and the fact that you have been a head coach before, can you walk us through what this process has been like for you taking over the reins?
Well, Mick and I have known each other for a long, long time and are really close friends. So, you know, it was tough from the aspect of just having to take over, but also knowing that you're a friend was in a very serious medical situation. So you had to process all that as we've gone along. And Mick's been great. He's helped me more than I can even tell you guys in terms of the transition, helping me with the transition. And you know, he's still heavily involved in the scouting, and we talk about every game. He watches as much tape, probably more tape than ever. And like he says, he's in a GM role now. So and you know what? He's got a little different perspective. Sometimes when you step away from it, you get a little different perspective, which is good. So it's been a process. It's getting easier. It's getting smoother. You know, obviously we want him back as soon as we can, but we have to wait on that. But in the meantime, I just got to fill in and do all I can to make sure that we keep the program rolling.
In the meantime, you have this matchup here today. Now, both games you've had on the road in January, you've dropped both of those. So how do you make sure you get the job done here today at UCF?
Well, this is a big day for us. We've got to get our first road victory, and you know, in those two losses, we turned the ball over way too much. We had 17 and 20. Can't turn the ball over today, and we got to do our job defensively, what we have been doing lately. And I think, you know, if we do that, we'll have a great chance to win today. But this is a big game for us because, again, you get your first road victory.
All right, Coach, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Jamie, Coach, thanks. The losses at UConn and Memphis for Coach Davis and the Bearcats, led by Troy Coypain. 9.9 points a game, that's it. Taylor Henriquez, former state high school players of the year, both from Orlando, stayed home to try to help out and build the UCF program for Coach Johnny Jones. 5th year at Orlando, up in Gainesville, an assistant for Billy Donovan, winning back-to-back national titles for the Gators in 06 and 07. Underway today from UCF and CFP Arena, and Cincinnati in the dark unis. First possession, Copain runs the show.
Cincinnati Bearcats will try to get the ball inside as many times down the court as possible. That's where they start their offense, looking inside to Ellis and Clark.
Kevin Johnson floats. Clark cleans up. And the putback for Gary Clark. We said a moment ago, top of the broadcast, how impressive he's been rebounding, and an early good example of that. Second best in the American Conference rebounds per game. McBride. Position at 340 pounds. Once he gets set up and puts a seal on you, what do you do?
Well, what happens is you have Henriquez, who's a great three-point shooter. You have to extend down and give single coverage to McBride down low. And he can seal off a lot with that body. And believe it or not, he's down 70 pounds from last year.
Amazing. And a double-double at UConn. And UCF's loss up in stores Thursday. Second double-double of the year for the big guy. Clark and Wilson come together, and Casey Wilson commits the foul.
Clark is a throwback player. Talking to every one of the coaches, they talk about how mature he is on and off the court. And right there, he got the ball down low against Wilson. It was like bringing a knife to a gunfight. He is just so quick down there, and he's smart. He makes good decisions.
One more for Clark. Mick Cronin, who is back home watching in Cincinnati. JB and Larry Davis, speaking of Coach Cronin's arterial dissection, a tear or damage to the inner wall or a lining of an artery in his brain. Missed there for Clark. That's the bad news, and it sounds bad. The good news, medication, rest, has helped Mick Cronin. He feels, as he spoke with you on the phone this week, 100%. Hopes to be back for a March Madness run. Doctors say no, next year he returns.
You know, we talked to him, and I think that the most important thing I got out of it was, I said, do you like your team? And as he told us, he said, I could sit out for this whole year. He goes, if I didn't like him, you know, I wouldn't come to practice every day.
Henriquez lines up a three. Can't hit. Wilson, stick back.
That's one area that the Bearcats really pride themselves on, defensive rebounding, and that time UCF got the best of them. UCF, to compete in this game, they will have to battle on the boards.
So Mick Cronin acts now in more of a consultant role, like a GM, he says, of a team. Ellis, really tough angle, and a foul call down low. Octavius Ellis got himself in a bad spot.
UC really defines themselves as a defensive and rebounding team, and you see right there, it was no block out. And now you see some full court pressure. by the Cincinnati Bearcats. They'll employ this the whole game long. They are in great shape. They have good athletes, and they try to get deflections defensively. Every time they're on defense, they count their deflections. Try to get 40 a game. They think they can win with 40 deflections.
We're going to try to track that, too. There's one. Great hands right on cue there by Sanders. Jermaine Sanders with a good defense. Coriante DeBerry, junior center, the JC transfer from Holland, Michigan, western part of the state, checks in for the first time for Coach Davis.
They talked to Coach Davis before the game. They want to try to get Octavius Ellis down for a few minutes, you know, and he's sitting down. Now they put Barry in the game to give him a little bit of spell and put him right back in the game after a minute sitting there.
There's change for Wilson. Tries again, the senior Casey Wilson. Off to a great start. Averages 6.5 a game. He's got 4 already in the early going here for UCF.
UCF is bringing the energy right now, and it's so important at home in front of your hometown crowd to get into the game, especially against such an athletic team like the Bearcats.
Knights coming in, lost 3 of the last 4 games. Long range shot, miss. Copain, Taylor, a freshman from right here in the city of Orlando. His high school about 15 minutes away. Last 8A state high school player of the year in the Sunshine State a year ago. Enriquez was the class 2A state player of the year. Wilson feeling it early. Too far to the basket. And Copain and UC on the move.
Wilson had that layup. He didn't need to take a dribble. Took a dribble and lost the opportunity. Good defense covering up by the Bearcats.
Kevin Johnson has 3. Thought he was bumped as well. Wanted a free throw to boot.
Nice spot up by Johnson. Back to the full court pressure.
First player other than Gary Clark to score for Cincinnati. And we've got a break. Donnie Jones of the Knights head-to-head with UC at American Conference Showdown from Orlando. All right, Steve Robles, let's check in with today's AT&T Fast Analysis. Something has got to give, right? Cincinnati's the best defensive team, and UCF is fantastic from three-point range.
Well, we talked about the deflections. They do a really good job. They're athletic. They make smart decisions on defense, and that turns into offense. Now, for UCF, they're so good shooting the three-point jump shot. If you're the Bearcats, you have to extend down there, but you have to recover back in the paint because their big guys will hurt you too with Ellis on that low block along with Clark and DeBerry.
Fouls on Kevin Johnson right before the break. And a 6-6 early game here from CFE Arena on the UCF campus. Second game of the American Conference doubleheader. Already UConn knocked off USF 66-53. Ryan Boatwright at 28. Rodney Purvis 17 for the Huskies. And Kevin Ollie's team is starting to play some better basketball now.
You knew they would. They struggled early on, and And actually, I thought the Bearcats had a chance to beat UConn at UConn, but they turned the ball over, and they have done that in the first half the last couple games. They need to take care of the basketball.
We had a nice meeting with Adonis Enriquez after the UCF shoot-around this morning. He said we've got to be patient in the half court, something Donnie Jones has preached to his team this week when it comes to this matchup. That was not patience exactly, and it's not easy because he's used to, when he sees a little bit of an opening, putting that ball up and shooting.
I don't think that they're going to see, now SMU's got a pretty good defense, but I don't think in the American Conference you're going to see a better coached defensive team than the Cincinnati Bearcats. I mean, if you get 70 points, you're phenomenal.
Good hands by UCF, speaking of defense. Loose change, Wilson to Taylor. Casey Wilson drives baseline, can't finish. McBride battling with all that muscle. He's got good hands too. What a scrap there for Justin McBride. He can move, the big guy.
Well, you look at him, you're not sure how athletic he is, but you just watch. He's over there, watch the ball go off of Wilson's hands and then battle inside. And he's moving DeBerry around with his lower part of his body. He's just so strong. That's not a foul. You have to box him out. And even if you box him out, he still may get the rebound.
Stays in the game. Stephon Blair checks in for the first time. Justin was heading right for the bench. He's soon to be out, but Donnie Jones wants some more minutes from the big guy here.
Well, lost in that whole transaction was Farad Cobb, really battling the bigs and was able to scrap and to get the ball out of bounds and throw it off of McBride to save the possession for the Bearcats.
Jack Thomas. Help work down low for DeBerry, and the putback. Oriante DeBerry, 6'10", 270. Twice his career best this year has been 9 points. And Larry Davis very high in his future in the Queen City.
Now Donnie Jones got a technical foul assessed to him. Not sure what happened, but the foul on that last play was right in front of him.
That was a warning to Donnie Jones. Yep, not actually technical.
Well, he jumped up. I thought he for sure got a technical foul.
Copain picked up the last foul. Here's Goodwin. That explosion in a win at Houston. 30 points. Tied it, sent it overtime, won it at the buzzer in OT at Hofheinz Pavilion. Taylor floats. Tough shot for B.J. Taylor.
What B.J. Taylor did that time, Rhino, was instead of taking it in amongst the bigs, he pulled up. He's very good at getting in the lane and taking that jump shot. The Bearcats worry about that because they want to make sure he doesn't get all the way to the paint and then kick it out. That time he shot it instead of throwing out for the jump shot.
We met with B.J. after the shoot-around with Enriquez. B.J. fighting a flu. Said, I'm not close to 100%, but I'm going. Nice overplay by the big guy McBride in the steal. Here comes Taylor. Fellow Frosh, Enriquez. Kick out for Goodwin. And one for Brandon Goodwin.
He's a big fella, but he can get around. That was a bad pass. One step, one dribble down to the baseline. It's a layup for DeBerry, but then the defense leads the offense. And DeBerry is going to get called for the foul. Nice move by Goodwin in the lane.
Goodwin, team's leader in assists, a sophomore from outside Atlanta. Completes a three-point play. Oriante DeBerry, guilty party on the last foul. Goodwin, the most explosive athlete on this UCF team. He has the best vert lead, over 45 inches. That's getting up. Clark in the post. Ellis. Some contact. McBride and Stephon Blair both pumped. Tavius Ellis.
At that time, if they would have held their ground and walled up, it could have been a jump ball, but both of them were down trying to get the block. Ellis and Clark need to be factors established in the inside game early because McBride and Blair both are prone to the fouls.
One more for Ellis. Second stint as a Bearcat. As you know from living in Cincinnati, his story well told up in Cincy. Suspended at the end of that Xavier game. A big fight a couple of years back. Dismissed from the team after an incident at a nightclub in 2012. Went to JC for 2 years. And Mick Cronin has said this year several times that Octavius Ellis came back a new man. Completely turned his attitude around. Much more mature now.
And I think that the whole program is very, very mature. I mean, they're young. There's nobody on the starting lineup that started last year. But I think that Ellis had to get it together. And Mick Cronin's not a coach that's going to say, I'm going to take you if you have an attitude problem or if you get in trouble. Now, believe it or not, it was very tense after that UC thing, so there was going to be no way there would let anything happen to a player that got in trouble.
Taylor entered the shot clock cycle, and a bump down low. Stephon Blair pushed off to grab that rebound. And that's the first on the junior from Fort Lauderdale, Stephon Blair. And watch Cincinnati play. I know you're from the Queen City, see them a lot, hear about them a lot. They're maturing. As Larry Davis told us, it's a very young team. We're coming along. You feel like a lot of teams, the Americans, UConn's another good example. They're hitting their stride right now.
If this team can get back to the NCAA tournament for the 5th time in the last 5 years, that'll be huge because this is a very young team. I don't think that anybody would have thought they'd make it to the dance, but they continue to get better. And as Donnie Jones said about UC, they have a culture now.
2 fouls now, Kevin Johnson. The RPI is 30 for Cincinnati heading into the game today. And based on the fact they've been in the discussion, you mentioned it'll be 5 straight years if they get to the big dance this year, Field of 68. They're already in that club. A program like UCF is trying to get it, and it takes a while for the name recognition. Bearcats have it already.
Bearcats have it. I mean, they have been a basketball school for a long, long time. They have a very good football program, but it's always going to be a basketball school. They have one of the best players that ever played the game in their Hall of Fame, and Oscar Robertson. Another deflection.
We have them tracked unofficially for 5 deflections so far. So again, as Coach Davis told us, 40 is the goal for the game.
So when you recruit a player, Mick Cronin and his coaching staff recruits a player, you have to get a guy that understands that, has good peripheral vision and understands the court. And you saw Clark going out there and deflecting that. That's a tough place to make cross court.
Nice catch from Blair down low. Excellent feed from B.J. Taylor. But established position by Stephon Blair for his first basket. Knights have 10 points, partner, in the paint so far today.
And if you had to put a recipe for success for UCF, it would be getting points in the paint. They were outscored at UConn 18-2 in the paint, and that killed Donnie Jones.
Goaltend call on Blair, count it for Clark.
Yep. UConn dominated in the block against UCF. And here's Blair taking it for 2 in the paint.
Opening night, 6:30. That's right, Friday, February 13th against Siena. Hey, you guys can support him right now. They want to support you.
Or we can put our backs to the court, too. Both of us? All right. Keep twisting? All right, cool. Probably just 2 questions, right?
Mick Cronin starting his 9th year as head coach at Cincinnati. As we've talked about with Steve, 4 straight years into the Big Dance. 2012, Sweet 16, the best result. And then the diagnosis came. Arterial dissection. And lost for the rest of the year. But his dad, Hep Cronin, is at every game, home and away here in Orlando, joined now by Jamie.
He is indeed at every game, you guys. Harold Hep Cronin with me now. You have been involved at every level of sports, high school, college, at the professional level, but this hit to your son was on a different level. Can you walk us through what the emotions were like for you at that diagnosis?
Well, it was really devastating for a while because we didn't know what it was. You know, that unknown thing behind it, behind the other closed door, you don't know. And until we found out really what it was, then we could relax a little bit.
And Mick's prerogative is to put this team in the limelight. And knowing your involvement with every level of sports, how do you feel like this Bearcats team has bounced back in the light of this?
Well, I think they're playing pretty well. We're really young, you know. Tonight we got to get on the boards. I mean, they're killing us on the offensive boards. I mean, the game's still early and it's even, but it won't say even if we keep letting them rebound every shot.
All right, thanks, Hep. Steve, you can take your job.
Yeah. He coached against me when I was in high school, and this is a guy that was a scout for the Atlanta Braves. I mean, I had lunch with him a couple weeks ago, Coach Cronin, and this is before Mick got sick. And just talking to him today, Mick getting sick really shook Hep a lot. I mean, we lost Mick's mom a couple years ago, and it's glad that Mick's back home watching it with his daughter Sammy, hopefully relaxing.
He's 8 years old. Sammy told Dad, look, you've had headaches. You're not feeling well, don't coach. And that's been the advice from his doctors. He does attend practice before and after, meets with the team, watches film. Basically an advisory GM is the way he's described it. Pat Riley without the rings. Blair down low at battle. Wilson, weak side rebound as it blocked away, and a foul call on Cincinnati.
What's happening right now with UCF is they're getting the ball inside. UC is one-on-one playing Blair on defense. Copain needs to help out a little bit more to try to stop on defense, but they got to block out the weak side guy. Wilson's that weak side guy, and that's where they're getting the offensive stickbacks that Coach Cronin was talking about.
Great to hear from Hep. I love the we and the us and the I.
Oh, he's
a member of the Cincinnati program. Wilson's got one more. That was 2 fouls, by the way, on Clark. So he's going to come out. And Quadri Moore, the freshman from Linden, New Jersey, is in. Sanders also back on the floor for Cincinnati. So Mick will send a halftime text to the ops director for Cincinnati. And then that gets to Larry Davis. Larry will then verbally dictate the response. He doesn't actually text back. Trying to keep the pressure, trying to keep the stress down for Mick Cronin. Those are the doctor's orders. But he feels 100%, as he told you on the phone this week, and we'll be back next year.
Yeah, it's fun to talk to him. Actually, I was at a Greater Cincinnati Basketball League game, and he played at LaSalle High School in Cincinnati. So we were talking, right? Yeah, he was a good player. Hurt his knee, but you know he was big time coach before he was really even with Coach Huggins at UC. I mean, he was coaching high school basketball, and he's really well thought of in the community.
More from the elbow, not even close. And the Knights get it right back here. Keep in mind, Cincinnati has had mighty struggles, especially the last 2 games, in the first half. Well, this week at home against Houston, they came out kind of sleepy. But in the second half, they turned it on.
And I think, as you talked to Coach Davis about it, it's not what they want to do. They have to take care of the basketball, and they have to do the fundamental things. Defensive rebounding and taking care of the basketball, the 2 keys, I would say right now, that they're not executing on.
Daquan Walker, super sub for the Knights. Out of Philadelphia, has been a 3-point ace recently for UCF. Enriquez for Wilson is at a big roll. Here's Walker for Craig. Shoots 42% from 3, 4th best in the American Conference. He's been a weapon off the night bench.
When you get 10 points in the paint in the first 10 minutes of the game, that's going to leave wide open jump shots.
Moore can't tip in the miss from Copain. Moore still battling. Yet another crack at it. And Sanders has his first basket.
When you talk about, look at the inside presence in here. This is where everybody on defense is going to go for UC. Go ahead and roll that. Watch the ball go inside. Everybody goes in the paint. Now watch the kick out. Not a quick enough recovery by Cobb. And a drop down three. Wide, I mean, really wide open by Walker.
Already 17 fouls. Sam's Goodwin, he nails the front end of the 1-1 at the free throw line. 4 points for Brandon Goodwin already in this game. The foul was on Cobb, his first. And that's sort of a trade-off when you're very aggressive defensively. Go for those deflections. A lot of full-court press-off made baskets like we just saw. Wilson, nice rebound. Fresh possession here for the home team. You do commit a lot of fouls.
Well, you have to, they're in a zone right now, trying different defenses to try to eliminate the outside three-point jump shot as you get a turnover on Goodwin with the travel. Now, for UCF, what you want to try to do, and we saw SMU, they hung with SMU a half. But then the energy and the mistakes, energy went away and the mistakes piled up. You're not going to have that chance against the Bearcats to be able to get back in the game once they get a lead, because they're very solid defensively. It's hard to score on. So UCF has got to keep that energy up right now.
Bearcats trail Houston by 4 at half this week. Battle against Octavius Ellis. Came back and just drummed the Cougars in the second half. Same with Temple in their prior game.
You see the big body Blair or McBride coming over there. It was a nice move by Octavius Ellis.
And I say that because this game has the same sort of feel. Bearcats a little flat in the first half.
I think the guy that needs to come up right now is a guy that's been the de facto leader, and that's been Troy Copain.
Ellis big block on Taylor's attempt. Copain right on cue, Mr. Wolf. Lays the break and the finish. First bucket for Troy Copain. One of 3 teams nationally that does not have a player in double figures as its leading scorer. It's hard to believe. The last time Cincinnati did not have a player score at least 10 a game, 1941-42. That's been a while.
That's a long time, and you're talking about leadership in the hands of the youngest kid on the team. Copain at 19 could still be a high school senior. UCF look inside to McBride. They got to get the ball. They haven't been in the scoring area yet.
Walker beats the shot clock. Wadley Moore has the rebound. Sanders skipping to Moore. A foul, first down low.
Well, Blair was really pushing on Ellis pretty hard. I mean, and Ellis got a little frustrated, but they're going to get the second foul on Blair.
To the big man, Stephon Blair. Ellis, the big rejection. Copain, the big finish on the other end. UCF by 3 over Cincinnati in the American Conference. Get the fastest scores and updates for Cincinnati, UCF, and all teams with the CBS Sports app, the fastest app for sports fans. Download the CBS Sports app now. Steve Wolf, freshman, Leading the way for UCF, and we love these guards, and Enriquez and Taylor, one of only 3 teams in Division I to have top 2 scorers as freshmen. That's amazing.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, they are very young. They got great guys coming in next year. And you look at those 3 teams, when you're led by freshmen, you got to deal with the freshman mistakes. You know, so you're getting it on offense, but, you know, the defense takes a little bit longer to come around.
Goodwood and Enriquez have each been the American Conference Rookie of the Week 3 times. Not bad, Jamie.
Well, guys, I spoke with Associate Head Coach Sean Finney about these 2 freshmen, and I asked him, Adonis is averaging over 37 minutes a game. BJ's playing over 32 minutes a game. I was like, Coach, do you have any concern for playing these young kids so much in a game? He said, not really. These kids are all about games. They're all about the AAU season. They take their time with them in practice, though. They make sure they keep their mental and physical rest going in practice, and so it doesn't happen in the game.
And Jamie, we asked Taylor and Enriquez after the shoot-around, the 3 of us today. How you guys feeling? They said they're hanging in there. A lot of minutes, not like high school AAU ball, though. It's a different level of play. If you're
a basketball player, you play me all the minutes you can, as you see. Moore getting into the basket.
And Taylor is slow to get up here. We mentioned BJ battling the flu. 4 points for Ellis. Nice stick back. But Donnie Jones, Coach Finney, they got to be a little careful, right, managing the minutes of these guys.
Oh, absolutely. You know, you have to make sure that guys are being sitting down because they play better sometimes when they have less minutes. I think it's the same with UC with Octavius Ellis and Moore. Well, got hit by his own play. Oh my God, it was McBride. That chicken, he got a chicken wing on that right in the face.
Is that a chicken wing, or what do you call that?
Oh, I don't know. That's a big, big wing. You hit right in the face. That'll wake you up. But you know, you get back at minutes played. I think that we've talked with both coaches about it. You don't want to overplay these guys because they make mistakes. But the greatest thing that you can give a guy is minutes. The worst thing you can do is take them away. So that's really all you have as a coach to get these guys to do what you want them to do.
Here's the pressure. Goodwin solves. Finds Shaheed Davis. Enriquez lines him a 3. Front iron to miss. And Jermaine Sanders defends and glass for Cincinnati.
Good press break, good recovery by the Bearcats.
Moore in the corner. Banks home a 3. Wadri Moore. Only his 4th 3 made of the season. 9-1 Bearcat run.
He looked like Enriquez down the other end. He shoots it like a 27%. Doesn't shoot that many, but on the break, pulling up behind the line.
First lead partner of the day for Cincinnati. Like to turn a switch on. Larry Davis told us we can't continue to start games like this, though. Really get burned.
Well, right now, their last 3 possessions, they played solid defense. And watch the 3 balls, a good dribble kick. An extra pass is wide open. And McBride, I guarantee the coaching staff of the Bearcats saw that McBride's not going to come out to that perimeter, and Moore is able to shoot that 3.
Walker stepped to the baseline. Ellis other end gets a nice roll. Octavius Ellis.
So back to back, they pulled the big guys away from the basket. A nice little jumper away from the basket, and then a 3. Cincinnati Bearcats now a 4-point lead.
Whoa. Lee Davis nowhere near Daquan Walker. Although the officials say that was tipped out of bounds. There's a reason it wasn't close. Deflection number 7.
I think they'd like to take away that deflection. UCF playing at home, you got the crowd. You got to get the big guys back into it. The Bearcats have essentially shut down that inside game the last couple possessions. Very quick to the ball when it goes inside. You have to be careful of getting out and putting a hand on those shooters because they have 3 really good shooters in the game right now.
These guys are so active defensively. Shutting down passing lanes, using hands, using feet, like we just saw. 10 to shoot for Walker. Daquan Walker. Front iron again. Sanders, weak side rebound.
That was a good extension by Moore. The big guy came out.
And travels. Faking a three this time with defensive pressure from Casey Wilson.
Right now, with Walker in the game, you have your leading scorer on the bench being attended to. It's imperative, if you're UCF, not to get down too many points, especially when you're playing against the defense of the Cincinnati Bearcats. You've got to stay in the game.
No field goals for the Knights. 4.5 minutes and counting. Case in point with a great UC defense.
Well, the zone defense, until that time, was really shutting down the dribble penetration.
Jamie, how's Taylor doing?
Well, BJ came to the bench for the Knights. The trainers took a look at him, followed his vision around. He kept pressing on that forehead, though. He looked like he was in a lot of pain. He walked back to the locker room just now, and that's the thing about being 15 minutes away from this school. His dad came down to the floor and followed him into the locker room as well. So he's got a lot of caretakers in there right now.
Jamie Wilson on the miss there. Ellis has the defensive rebound. Here comes Mormon. 30-40. Family and friends come to each game for BJ Taylor from right here in Orlando. Air ball. Not close there. Good with the rebound. Long range shot. Henriquez, it rattles out. And Deshaun Mormon, another defensive board. Copain for Jermaine Sanders. Moore thinking about another three ball. Well, there it is. And look at McBride. Clear around everyone with that big body. He's something. What a presence. Fast-paced game, definitely in favor of UCF. Got athletes.
Well, the biggest problem we have is the biggest, strongest guy on the team is it's not conducive to him. McBride is huffing and puffing. I'm the Bearcats. I get the ball into Ellis. Oh, look at that. Nice pass.
But lost it on the way up. Loose change. Copain. Right. Too aggressive. He's got 2 fouls.
But what happens, Rhino, when you get tired, you lean on people. You take your eye off the ball. He was down there and missed a beautiful pass from the perimeter. Missed the hand of the ball and then really made a mental error getting that foul. Now you got Blair and McBride both with 2 fouls, and that limits your inside game.
McBride frustrated, sits with 2. We saw BJ Taylor a moment ago. Trying to shake it off, as Jamie said, took that shot from McBride right to the face. And that just got him hurt.
Well, it looked really like it was no big deal, but then you look at how big McBride is, you got to worry about the concussion-like symptoms and everything else that's going around.
10 to shoot. Copain, the team leader. Mormon pulls up. Lefty shot back iron. Dylan Carrell can't find the handle, and we've got a break. American Conference Showdown underway from Orlando. Coach Davis and the Bearcats have a lead. Steve Wolf, 22 straight games. Cincinnati has not allowed 70 points to an opponent. That's second best in the country. New Mexico, 23 straight. They lost to Wyoming, 63-62 in overtime last night. Defense, name of the game for the Bearcats.
The Bearcats, they do not allow people to get easy shots in the lane. And early in the game, at the 8-minute mark, UCF had 10 points in the paint. And right now, with 3 minutes to play in the game, Cincinnati Bearcats have 12 points or 14 points to paint. UCF still has 10. They've essentially eliminated that by playing the zone defense and then recovering to the jump shooters, playing solid defense right now for the Bearcats.
Cincinnati has not allowed 70 points in 49 of the last 52 games. And only 7 times in the last 86 total games. Just extraordinary defense. B.J. Taylor trying to recover from the shot to the face. An inadvertent from his teammate, Justin McBride. They need him. He's their leading scorer. And at this point of the year, Taylor's been the night's best player. Point guard.
And the problem that UCF is having right now, they're not knocking down threes. They're 1 for 8. And he is the second best three-point shooter on the team.
That's the best three-point shooting team in the American Conference heading in. Carell up top, 10 to shoot. Half-court defense is smothering for Cincinnati. 3 to shoot. Goodwin needs to get it up there. And that's off the side of the backboard, not even close to the rim. Shot clock violation, out of bounds anyway. A disastrous half-court possession.
Well, the matchup zone is what it looks like, but it morphs. I mean, they do a very good job of playing defense. As far as trying to get out, and if you're on the other end of it, trying to get in the lanes, it's almost impossible. They didn't even get in the offensive area inside the three-point line that possession.
UCF has missed 7 straight field goal attempts. 9 deflections in the game now for Cincinnati. We'll keep a close eye on that. Goal is 40. And Coach Davis and Coach Cronin, the staff, UC, will break down the tape and track all those deflections. Shaq Thomas through traffic, nice through the bodies, and puts it in off the glass. A tough shot for his first field goal.
Thomas started 15 games this year. His struggle has been inconsistent, and he has played the second half of last game at 9 points, and really looks like he's more aggressive going to the basket. And that's a position that UC needs to get production. Jermaine Sanders starting for him. The good take to the basket by Shaq Thomas.
Wilson trying to stop a 13-1 Bearcat run. The foul was on Sanders, his first. Casey Wilson will shoot a couple. Here from Northport, Florida, has one more. Not everyone can be a quarterback. So again, inside the minds of those who can. Join Rich Gannon, Steve Berline, and Trent Green. NFL Monday QB delivered by FedEx tomorrow night at 6 Eastern, only on CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports.
Casey Wilson is having a career first half right now for UCF. And fortunately for UCF, he's playing. He's got 8 points and 5 rebounds. He's a guy that averages only 6 points a game.
62 starts for Wilson last year. About 10 points a game. And since Shahid Davis has been removed from the last 4 games Wilson has started.
He's really carrying the team on his back.
To go in the opening 20 from CFP Arena here in Orlando. 10 to shoot here for Cincinnati. Copain floats. Can't hit. DeBerry is back hard. From behind on the stick back attempt.
That was a good take by Copain. Cuffed the ball like he was a running back and got through the lane. And 3 guys come over to help out, leaving the weak side rebounding wide open. I think he cuffed it. The ball seemed a little bit deflated when he got in there. It was easier to carry when he was doing it.
Speaking of the NFL and the Super Bowl, one more for the very fouls on Dylan Carell, his first. I think we can move past that with the Flakegate and the Patriots, right?
I hope they do.
Game with Seattle?
I hope they do. I'm tired of seeing Belichick and Brady on. I feel like I'm watching one of those shows on cable at late night.
It goes on and on.
I didn't do it.
6-point lead here for UC over UCF.
Rhino, it's important right now that UCF gets something going. They're getting free throws, but they're not shooting jump shots or scoring in the offensive set. They have to get the ball inside that three-point line. I mean, they're not even close. Got to get the ball in the middle, and they have the middle is open.
5 to shoot. Again, Knights in trouble. Walker step back three. Tough shot for Daquan Walker, his second triple. Not ideal, not high percentage, but he buries it. He's got both of the Knights' threes. Other end. Right through traffic. Easy play for Deshaun Mormon, his first basket.
You work so hard to get a basket. You work 35 seconds. You got to get back on defense.
Wilson. Carell can't finish. Tried to reverse up on the lob from Goodwin. Loose change. Who's got it? Cincinnati got a timeout, apparently, for UCF before the ball went out of bounds.
Well, they're moving the ball around. Carell's open in the middle. They're not looking for him in the middle, but time running out. There's only 1 second on the shot clock. He had to throw it up. But the middle is open if they look at Carell down low for a kickback, but knocked down the long three by Walker.
Steve coming up on AT&T at the half. Adam Zucker, Seth Davis in our New York City studio. Top 25 scores and highlights, plus first half highlights and stats from CFP Arena here in Orlando. An American Conference matchup.
It's a great hustle play by Goodwin. Lost the loose ball and dove on it and called the timeout very quickly. Still 33 seconds on the shot clock.
Only one field goal in the last 8 minutes for the Knights, and that was on Walker's three we saw a moment ago. Off balance, end of shot clock cycle three-pointer for Daquan Walker.
You can look at it two ways. I mean, you can realize how poor the offense was and how good the defense was for the Cincinnati Bearcats. But they've only had one field goal in 8 minutes, and they're still only down 5, and they have the ball. That's a positive for UCF.
Teardrop miss there for Goodwin out of bounds on the baseline. Shot clock turned off.
So now, if you're UCF, you want to go in the locker room with 27 or 25, or at least you get is 24. You do not want to let the Cincinnati Bearcats get this ball back and give them a chance to increase that lead.
Walker up top. Watched by Farad Khan. Here's Wilson. 15 seconds remaining in the first half. Goodwin. Enriquez, team's second leading scorer. No points so far for Donis Enriquez. 5 seconds left. Goodwin up top. Needs some help. Enriquez with 2 seconds. Floats and can't hit. Rebound, Copain, and that's it for the opening 20 from UCF. 9 deflections. The active half-court defense for Cincinnati. Taylor apparently all right after running into McBride. Larry Davis joins Jamie.
Coach, before the game, you told me that turnovers were a big part of keeping the lead. Was taking care of the ball effective this half?
We did for the most part. A couple guys got hesitant on shooting the ball, and they traveled. Other than that, for the most part, we've been decent. But we got to keep that up and even cut it down a little bit this half. Guys got to trust their shot.
What kind of text message do you expect from Mick Cronin?
Defend and rebound. It's all that matters.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Trademarks, Jamie. Cincinnati basketball turnovers, by the way, are 4-4. Coach Davis talking about ball handling in the first half. 29-24 Cincinnati leading UCF after the break. It's AT&T at the half.
It's for $20 gift card. That's pretty close. You got one more. Line up. $20 gift card. There you go. Shoot. There it is. That's good. Let me say that's good. That's good. Good job. All right, you know how easy that was. It's so easy that you got glasses on the back of your head. That's how easy this is. All right, you ready? We're gonna go in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so there we go. Last glasses. You good. That's awesome. All right, guys, put the leg up. Put the leg up. That's for $10 ladies gift card. That's good. That's for $20 gift card for Wendy's right here. That's plenty. 5 seconds. Dude is just a passion right here. 3, 2, 1, go! Joe, good job. Keith, good job. That's good work. And you play Wendy's super shot.
This afternoon, exclusive UCF debit card with a 35-box Lugano's open and checking account with CFP average swap benefits. UCF athletics. Local Blue is proud with the official Hawk inspired on your nights. Local in pursuit of. As always, welcome back to good friend Chisel. Check him out on Twitter at DJ Chisel. Time to check out that video. Yeah, that's right. It's how UPS Logistics halftime stats. To learn how UPS can put the power logistics to work for you, visit us at thenewlogistics.com. Check it out on Nation.
See those guns, bro? See those guns? Here, the pipes. The pipes. Oh, there it is. Go to the right. You see the gun? There it is. Yeah, right there. This guy. Dude, skeleton. Yes, kiss him. That's legit right there. Kurt's jerk on his throwback, yeah. I like it. Yes! Very intimidating. Very intimidating. Not sure what that was right there. That whole move. I like it. Yes. That's what I'm talking about right there. Just hold it for the rest of the put it back up. Look at the face that's just like determination right there. You see the muscles? Yeah. UCF. Go down.
Cincinnati has won all 4 prior meetings with the Knights. That includes 3 last year, 2 in the regular season, 1 in the American Conference Tournament. held at FedEx Forum in Memphis. Welcome back, Dave Ryan, Steve Lowe, former star and captain at Xavier, joined by Jamie Earl in a moment. And yes, the text message just came to your iPhone from Mick Cronin, and he said to you what?
Defense excellent last 10 minutes. Rebounding is the key for us. Troy has to key our offense more and score or assist. He is involved, and I'll tell you what, I thought he was going to critique us on our performance, you and I, but let's look at the highlights.
I love the insider access Steve Wolf has with Mick Cronin, who's watching back at home in Cincinnati. Let's check the first half highlights.
Yeah, originally, UCF was getting everything inside. You know, in the first 12 minutes of the game, they had 10 points in the paint, really getting down low. And Casey Wilson with 8 points and 5 rebounds. But then the defense picked up. You see Copain getting into it. When UC's defense plays and they rebound, they are a very solid team. And they need to do that to continue to win on the road against UCF.
9 different players score for Cincinnati that game. Lots of balance, led by Ellis with 6. Casey Wilson, as you said, great first half for UCF, led away with 8.
Yeah, and they're also, Casey Wilson is the guy that's really doing everything. He is the guy that's been able to keep this team within 5 points. And it's so important that they continue to try to go inside. Now, for the Bearcats, they got to play. They're playing a little bit of a zone, and they're forcing perimeter. UCF has not been able to get inside that three-point line when they get down on offense.
Bearcats come in. 2-game win streak. They've won 8 of the last 10. And UCF, 3 of the last 4 they've lost. The SMU game you and I called here at CFP Arena a couple weeks back. Memphis and then UConn. And they knocked off Tulane in that span in triple overtime, one of the longest games in American Conference history.
They're a very good team, but they're young. I mean, they have 2 guards that are freshmen. One of them has been out. Realize that for the last 7-8 minutes, BJ Taylor's been out of the game. So he is still not in the game right now.
Jamie spoke with Donnie Jones.
Well, guys, an injury update on BJ Taylor. The freshman is not going to play this second half. They are going to hold him back due to some concussion concerns, Donnie Jones told me. He also told me this team is shooting 2 for 9 from beyond the arc. That's something they usually rely on, but he wants them to hit the zone, spread this zone defense back out against Cincinnati, and make sure they take good quality shots late in the shot clock.
All right, Jamie, that's a very big storyline for UCF. Their top scorer and best player, BJ Taylor, freshman guard, out for the rest of the game with concussion symptoms. He was hit by his teammate McBride in the first half, Justin McBride. An accidental arm right to the face. So the Knights will not have Taylor in the lineup for the second half. 14.8 points a game. That's 4th best in the American Conference coming in to the game here today. Turnover.
Justin McBride had 2 opportunities at the basket, and he's using his girth to get position. But Ellis and Clark are using their length to be able to eliminate the inside points by McBride.
Clark up top. Here's Kevin Johnson. 2-man game with Garrett Clark. The back in on Wilson. That's a mismatch. Takes advantage.
That's a great play because he faked in the middle of the court, was able to go over his left shoulder and protect the ball and scored off the glass.
Henriquez to McBride. The big guy can't finish this time. And Ellis way up high. Elevating for the defensive glass. Here's Jermaine Sanders.
UCF getting into the paint now. That's 2 straight times that McBride's hit point-blank range shots. So their game plan is obviously to get back in the paint.
Ellis fakes on McBride. Kick out Sanders. Back to Clark. Just a freshman. Watched by Wilson. Gets physical. And fouled by Casey Wilson.
What I like about Clark is that he's using his body. Now, it's not an offensive foul. He's using his shoulders a little bit to bump, just to feel position. That's not a foul. And then he takes it strong against Wilson. Wilson cannot stop him down low.
Sanders. Short on a 3. And McBride has the rebound. 3rd board of the game for Justin McBride.
Sorry, but Dave, UCF has got to continue getting the ball inside. They're doing a better job in the first 2 minutes of the second half than they did the last 7 minutes of the first, getting into the scoring position.
Henriquez shut out in the first half. Team's second leading scorer. One of the top freshman scorers in the nation. 5 to shoot here. That's a break for UCF. With a kick ball, you get 15 seconds back in the shot clock. It was at 3 a moment ago there. And it would have been another tough half-court possession for Donnie Jones and the Knights.
Cincinnati doing a very nice job. Once they get over the picks, whether they switch or stay, they're able to get out in the shooting lanes.
Good one for 3, rattles out. Kevin Johnson has the rebound. No B.J. Taylor, as Jamie told us. He plays 33 minutes a game. Look at Goodwin elevate. Big rejection. Runs into a Bearcat on the way up court. Walker does finish. Goodwin took a shot to the face. Accidental contact running up court. Ran into the shoulder of a Cincinnati player. You can see looking for the blood there.
You would have thought
physical game.
You would have thought that was McBride swatting that away. Goodwin is so athletic. He's got some hops.
Best vertical leap on the team, as we told you about. 45 plus.
UCF is in a 2-3 zone right now.
8 to shoot here. Johnson. Ellis spins and hits.
UC taking what the defense gives. Nobody guarding Ellis. Nobody coming out. He's got a nice little 8-foot jump shot. Real nice turnaround jump shot from Octavius Ellis.
58% from the field heading into this game. And that's 3rd best in the American Conference. Almeida Brimov, UConn the leader before their game today at 69%. A lot of dunks. Wilson is fouled on the baseline.
Is this McBride? Is this Blair? No, it's Goodwin coming over from the weak side and swatting it. That's some hops, good timing, great hustle. Brandon Goodwin, only 6 foot, if that.
Ellis picked up his first foul. Cobb back into the lineup for UC. Walker's got to take over with Taylor out. Floats, too strong, way off. Jermaine Sanders rebound, and the lefty pushes it up court.
Remember, Coach Nick Cronin talked about it, whether it's Copain or whether it's Johnson or whether it's Cobb, you have to get the ball into the hands of the point guard, and they got to run their offense.
Cobb the miss. Way short, came right to Ellis. Farad Cobb. Wow, air ball. Ellis blocked from behind. Enriquez. Oh, push. It comes down awkwardly on the missed dunk attempt.
It looked like his knee buckled underneath him. You just hope for his sake he is not hurt, but it looks like his knee might have been buckled underneath him. Strong move to the basket. That was good hustle by Ellis.
UCF trainers attending to Adonis Enriquez.
And the officials will review the previous play. A fans out of the hand for very own Adonis Enriquez. After under 16-minute media timeout. Hey, Fancy Academy Sports and Outdoors, North Orlando area, spring 2015, with 4 store locations
foul on Cincinnati's Octavius Ellis has been upgraded to a flagrant 1. Officials told us a moment ago, Steve, a non-basketball play involving the foul here as Ellis tries to take out Adonis Enriquez. The good news, Enriquez did get up on his own a moment ago. That looked bad.
Well, from our angle, it looked like it was a block, but it did hit. He did hit Enriquez on the arm.
Will be 2 free throws for Enriquez or a sub for him if he can't shoot the free throws and the ball. Jamie, what do you see there?
Well, he already knows that B.J. Taylor is out of the game, so you got to think he wants to stay in. He seemed like he was in a lot of pain on the floor. He's working on that left knee a lot, but during the timeout, he was sitting with the 5 players that were going to stay on the court, and right now he's coming back on the floor. It looks like he's going to try and stay in this game.
That's the best news possible, Jamie, for UCF. Enriquez 35 minutes a game. Taylor, as Jamie reported, already out for the game. He plays about 37 minutes a game because of concussion symptoms, so Enriquez is going to shoot the free throws. And I'm sure a big sigh of relief for all his family and friends here from right here in Orlando.
I sometimes wonder, and I'm from the era that they didn't call flagrant fouls. And I'm wondering if he didn't hurt himself, if that would have still been called a flagrant foul. I mean, it didn't look like he was trying to hurt him, but it looked like he was going for the block. So, but nonetheless, Enriquez gets 2 foul shots and looks pretty good.
Flagrant 1 foul called there, so no ejection. 2 free throws and the ball. Enriquez is now going to come out. That's interesting. Adonis is a very good free throw shooter, 84%. Shoots the free throws and then heads to the bench.
There's a good reason. Shahid Davis is shooting 45%, who's coming in for him. So at least you want to get those 2 free throws while the clock is stopped.
Wow.
And you can pull them back out. Smart move by Donnie Jones.
Give Adonis some credit as well for the injured leg.
Well, they're going to work on him and, see if it's something that's torn or something that's, doable, get back in the game. They will not take any chances with him.
Knocks down the free throws, too.
Yeah, that's big time.
Almost a turnover there from Goodwin. Here's Walker. 15 to shoot. Daquan Walker. Native of Philly floats. Can't hit. Tipped up and just off the mark by Davis. Did everything but get it in. I assume that would go down.
That was a great,
over the rim.
That was a great move to the basket by Walker. I mean, he just looked off Cobb and drove in the paint.
Knight's only shooting 28%, partner. It's not going to get it done. Only 2-10 from 3. Johnson. Oh, another 3. How about Casey Wilson continuing a big game?
He is playing like a man. 7 rebounds. The kid is going strong. And it's 1 and done for the Bearcats. And 2 guys down. 2 of the top 2 scorers for UCF. They're only down 5. 14 to play.
Backdoor cut, Shahid Davis. And it's stripped again. The deflection. Got him down for 14 deflections in the game, Steve Wolf. And the Knights only 1 of 8 shooting from the floor in the second half.
The difference between the Cincinnati Bearcats offense and the UCF offense is they're getting stuff going to the basket. Now, UCF in the second half is doing a better job of driving, getting there, but they're not finishing. You have to finish when you have such a good drive to the basket or a second chance opportunity.
Sanders was fouled by Davis a moment ago. Shahid's first. Here's Kevin Johnson. High post pass to Ellis. Return to Johnson for 3. Bangs it home.
And that's great that Johnson's able to step up. He missed his last one. Hasn't shot real well today, but able to step up after missing one and have a short memory and knocking down the 3 ball.
Recent home win against Temple. Johnson had a career best 4 threes made and 14 points. Also a career high. Shahid Davis, right low block. Double team. Look at how active this Cincinnati defense is. Textbook Steve Wolf.
It really is. And, another tip right there, another deflection. But even though it was deflected and retrieved by Goodwin, the defender was there.
Count that one for Goodwin. 6 points for Brandon Goodwin in the game. And a goaltend on Octavius Ellis.
You see the nice drive by Goodwin. He's getting in the paint with a little teardrop, and Ellis swatted away. And, Troy Copayne's been out of the game for a while, and Mick Cronin talked about he needs to be involved more. He's been sitting on the bench. But right now, Cobb and the Cincinnati Bearcats are running their offense and getting open shots.
Ellis high post. Johnson. Misfires on a 3 ball. Goodwin on the move. Knifing through traffic. Tipped up and in. Stephon Blair. Second bucket for the big guy. He's got 4 points. And the Knights close within 4 here.
You can credit Stephon Blair with the basket, but get Goodwin the credit for getting it to the basket. That's exactly what the Knights have to do, is get in the paint, either the pass or the dribble.
High-low play. Johnson blocked away. Davis, Wilson both there. 10 to shoot. Octavius Ellis will drive. Kicks for Sanders. Perfect. Jermaine Sanders. First 3 of the game and 20th made triple the season.
Ellis had a great pass to Johnson. He took a dribble and lost the jumper. There's another deflection.
Cobb. Steal and layup. Timeout, UCF and Donnie Jones. He's seen enough.
Just like that, you turn on a switch. Defensively, they go ahead and have a deflection. But good ball movement, good hustle by the Cincinnati Bearcats. Knocked down the lefty, Jermaine Sanders. And then the defense of the Bearcats, a good tip away by Cobb. It's a lot easier to score on a break when you're wide open.
Run for a 9-point lead, Steve Wolf, as we revisit the AT&T Fast Analysis.
You talk about the Cincinnati Bearcats and how they play defense. We've talked about having to try to get 40 to win, but their 15's done it today. And you look at UCF, they shoot it at almost 40% from behind the arc, and they're 2 of 10. But I really think that this is when you play on the road in the American Conference, you have to make sure you play good defense. There the Bearcats and really doing a nice job of getting deflections, allowing ball gets in the paint, but you have 2 guys covering it up. And then look at that, 4 guys in the painted area, be able to get it on the run. And then the steal by Cobb right before the break. And that's important because Goodwin's the guy that's been getting to the basket. And Cobb has not been able to stop that ball. And now Troy Copain is back in the game to run the show for the Bearcats, and they have some full court pressure put on the Knights.
Copain 1 of 5, shooting only 2 points. Deflection again, there are 16 of them. And the Bearcats right back on offense. Copain nice through traffic. Floats, can't hit, tipped up, no. The cylinder there.
That was going to go in, I think.
That might have, maybe. Coriante, DeBerry, right around the basket. Let's take a look at this.
Sitting on the rim. Nah, maybe not. It was going to come back out. If I'm a coach, I have no problem with that. Good, hard, going to the basket by Corey DeBerry.
Goodwin, press break, and a whistle. And Brandon foul on the way to the basket.
Goodwin doing the same thing that he did on Cobb to Kevin Johnson. It's very hard to keep a guy like Goodwin in the game.
Enriquez is back in. Jamie, what are you learning on the bench?
Adonis Enriquez biked for a couple minutes before going into the locker room to get his left knee checked further back out. When he came back on the court, I asked him how he's doing. He said, I'm all right. He checked back in, and now he's playing again for UCF.
Well, 18 deflections now, Jamie. Just the hands defensively are everywhere. But great news that the night's second leading scorer is back on the floor. Will become a lead problem. As Jamie talked about, B.J. Taylor, leading scorer for UCF, out for the second half with concussion symptoms. Who's going to take over for the Knights here, Steve?
I think it's going to have to be Enriquez. Second leading scorer. He's a guy that struggled.
Wilson open, up for the flush! Casey Wilson with a hammer on the baseline. How about it? He's having himself a game here. 10 points and 7 rebounds for Casey Wilson.
He is not the guy you would have thought would have brought it against one of the best defensive teams in the country, but he is going in the paint, and he has been strong, and they're going to get a foul on DeBerry. UCF getting the ball, points in the paint! Exclamation point.
Cincinnati led by 5.5. 7-point lead now on UCF from here in Orlando. Don't miss the world's best riders saddle up and take their shot at bull riding glory. The PBR Built Ford Tough Series Express Employment Invitational tonight at 8 Eastern only on CBS Sports Network. Casey Wilson, Steve, as you pointed out correctly in the first half, having himself a game here. 10.7 rebounds, career-type out.
And this is a guy, remember in college basketball, there's guys that may not score each and every night, but they're very talented. At this level, in this conference, you got 10, 12 guys that have played before, were the best on their high school team, and this is what you expect if you're Donnie Jones. Casey Wilson, 10.7 rebounds. He's made some really good passes. He's played some good defense. At the other end, for the Cincinnati Bearcats, they have got to get some help from Troy Copain. He had a nice penetration dribble, but he's got to stop Goodwin on the defensive end. Kevin Johnson or Copain. They got to run and get this offense going. You do not want to be on somebody's own home floor and have less than 10-point lead.
Enriquez, only 2 points. Will be Knight's second leading scorer on the flagrant 1 foul against Ellis. And it came from the free-throw line. Lots of contact, somehow no whistle. And behind the play, things get a little ugly there between Shaq Thomas and Goodwin. Went for the shove, and Goodwin's fouled hard on the play by Gary Clark, and Brandon immediately takes a couple steps, and Clark, he's frustrated. Brandon's been banged around here quite a few times by this physical Cincinnati team. And cooler heads prevail.
You see that Clark was going after the ball, and Goodwin was the one that was down the other end within the trap. But it was a good idea by Goodwin to swing it around quickly because it was an open shot by Enriquez. But it's getting a little chippy right now, and you'll see the referees. They're talking to Goodwin right now. But you know, when you get hit like that, the first thing you do is you want to say, hey, what do you want something with me?
Sure.
No, I wouldn't do that.
Not to me, anyway.
Not for you. But that's the way Cincinnati plays. I mean, they intimidate, they play hard, and they do it quite well.
3 fouls, as you saw, against Gary Clark, star freshman post player for Cincinnati. Deflection again. Steal. Copain for Johnson. And a foul on Daquan Walker. And Shaq Thomas got hit on the way up.
Well, the Cincinnati Bearcats had a tip deflection, and they got it out in the scoring area. The biggest problem was UCF players were not hustling to get back. It should have been a bucket. It was a good pass by Johnson. Should have been a layup for the Bearcats. UCF has got to get back in transition when they make a mistake. Quit licking your wounds and run.
One more for Thomas. That was the 19th deflection of the game. Our unofficial deflection stat tracker today. Relentless defense. Reminds you a bit of Havoc in VCU.
It really does. I mean, now they don't run and jump as much, but they are very good and adept at getting in passing lanes. And they're always coming from behind you, trying to knock that ball away.
Can Enriquez finally hit one? You better believe it. It's a three for Adonis Enriquez. 43rd made three of the year. Tops on the night roster. And the Fuller High School State Player of the Year in the Sunshine State gets the CFE Arena crowd going a bit.
That is huge for UCF because without B.J. Taylor in the game, they're missing their leading scorer. Somebody's got to take over for UCF.
What a move a moment ago by Copain, the and one. No foul first, check that, no basket. Gonna be Clark against Wilson. Gary Clark, way too strong.
That was awesome defense inside by Casey Wilson. Realized last time Clark went over his left shoulder. He didn't go for the fake and walled up. Good defense.
Fouls on Daquan Walker a moment ago. Wilson missed, driving for the basket. And Octavius Ellis clears the rebound.
Smart move by Johnson. You don't need the three ball. You need to get the ball inside to Ellis and Clark. They have to touch it every time down the court. They can pass well out of the double teams, but you got to get them involved.
Goodwin, speaking of deflections, up and over. What hustle there for Brandon Goodwin. And the fans here in Orlando love that.
Troy Copain has got to try to get the ball in the middle of the lane. He's got to dribble, penetrate, and dish. That's great hustle by Goodwin. But right now, the aggressive team is UCF.
5 to shoot for Johnson. Beats Ellis with 3 to shoot. 1 to shoot.
Didn't get it.
Shot clock violation, didn't know.
Now, Rhino, that is Ellis's fault, yes. But it is Troy Copain's fault. He is the leader. He's the de facto leader. He's got to go over and tap his head. Tell everybody on the court there's 7 seconds on the shot clock. He did not do that, and therefore it's a turnover.
Young sophomore, right? Only 19 years old, youngest player on the UC roster. Got to learn step by step. You're right. Well, that was an opportunity to be a leader.
And Mick Cronin he'll say that he's 19 years old, but it makes no difference when you're in the game. Hey, you want the roll? Forget about how old you are.
10 to shoot for Wilson up top. Kick out for Goodwin. From the elbow, floats and hits.
That was left-handed. That was just offhand. It looked like a teardrop. Either it was a teardrop or it was a left-hand shot. That was a beautiful drive by Goodwin.
1 possession game. Shaq Thomas spins in the paint. Goodwin right into us. Nice hit for Brandon. Walker lost it though on the baseline. As we reset our monitors and laptops and tablets here. Crash.
It's getting frenetic right now, and you'll see beautiful drive in here. It was a teardrop. I thought he released it with his left hand. That is a beautiful shot by Goodwin, again getting in the paint.
8 points now for Goodwin. Taylor, team's leading scorer, out, as Jamie talked about, with the concussion symptoms. Landed a teammate, Justin McBride. Inadvertent contact in the first half, but has not returned. Wilson inbound pass. Whoa, way long air ball. Sanders the rebound.
Timeout Larry Davis. And this is where I think Larry Davis, having previous head coaching experience, is very, very important. Yes, he and Coach Cronin are yin and yang. I mean, they've known each other for a long time. They know what the other one wants. They pretty much could finish the sentence of the other, but it's imperative to have somebody that's been in this before being a head coach.
9 years the head coach partner at Furman in the Southern Conference, won 124 games there. 4 times had a winning record for the Purple Paladins, the native of Selma, Indiana. He went to Ashbury College in Kentucky. They had not started a basketball program there. One of his friends said, come down, we're to start hoops. Instead, it never quite happened, so he ended up running cross-country, played soccer in college, a great athlete. And in one of the really classic stories about starting to be a coach, went into the office of Jim Callahan at East Tennessee State and wouldn't leave it basically until Coach Callahan gave him an interview for a GA spot. The assigned GA never showed up, paid him $1 so he get a free education, and that's how his coaching career started.
Well, he's a gutty guy, gritty guy, and you could see him on the bench. You know, if he took his face off and put Mick Cronin's on, it's the same way. They're very, very energetic into their team. They circle the wagons, and right now, Larry Davis has his work cut out with only a 3-point lead on the road.
Copain hangs and hits. Top move through traffic for Troy Copain. The team's leading scorer, only 9.9 points a game. One of only 3 teams nationally without a double-figure score. Amazing that the Bearcats have been this good without a key offensive weapon.
But that was important not only because it got Copain in the lane where he needs to be, but also it quieted down the crowd and took a little of the momentum away. You see they're going to get a foul on Ellis.
Third foul, Octavius Ellis on the overplay. Timeout on the floor of CFE Arena on the UCF campus in Orlando. Casey Wilson and the Knights in a battle with UC.
Here's an updated score from American Athletic Conference in one final. UConn defeats USF 66-53. That game has gone final. UConn victorious. And I advance your next home game is on Tuesday. As we host the 10 Loud Hip-Hop Center, 7 o'clock right here on the CFE Arena. For tickets, visit UCFX.com. This year, it's Tuesday, 7 o'clock, UCF Top. John Adams, take it away.
All right, fans, we're over here in Florida. We got sections 108 and 109. We got the Central Florida Council of the Boy Scouts of America. So let me get all the scouts. All you guys stand up. We got all the scouts right here. These guys are going to kick off the Geico Dance Camp. You guys, take it away.
Everybody clap your hands.
You guys can work on your coordination back.
Let's do it. Cha-cha, real
I just made that up.
Turn to the left. To the left. Take it back now, y'all. One up this time.
Let's take a look at the AT&T game summary. Mr. Wolf, what stands out to you here?
Now, right now, it's only a 5-point game, but I think the defense played by Cincinnati, their offense, they have struggled mightily, but their defense has been great. You can see the field goal percentage is a big deal.
2 top scorers, both freshmen for UCF, injured in this game. First half, B.J. Taylor, watch this one, right into teammate Justin McBride's right arm. Concussion symptoms, done for the game. Adonis Enriquez went up for the jam and hurt his leg. Flagrant 1 foul called on Octavius Ellis. Enriquez has come back.
What's incredible when you watch that replay of McBride hitting B.J. Taylor in the face accidentally. McBride just went down court, acted like he didn't even feel it. Just shows you how big that mammoth he is. But they're going to need some help from him. He's on the bench right now with his warm-up on. Blair, Wilson, Enriquez, Goodwin, and Walker in the game.
Only 2 points and 3 rebounds for the big guy McBride in the game here today as Wilson receives the inbounds pass near the timeline.
So important when you're playing against the Cincinnati Bearcats to ball fake.
Goodwin hangs and hits. How about the athleticism for Brandon Goodwin into double figures? His per game average is 10, and he's reached that with that athletic bucket and a smile on his face up court as well.
He went in with his legs and pushed off a little bit with his arm and threw it from a slingshot. That was a nice move.
Space creator that left arm. Copain floats and hits again. Impressive move for Troy Copain, sophomore from Midlothian.
That is the key for this Bearcat offense, is what Troy Copain has done the last 2 possessions down the court.
Copain, native of Virginia. Over the leadership role. He welcomes the opportunity. True sophomore and a young guy. Looks for 2 more. And bumped in the paint.
Well, what Copain is doing is he's rotating. He sits there, he's going to go in the middle first time, and then this time he goes baseline, and he's able to score. First time he scored, got 2. Second time, got 2 on the baseline, and now he's going for an opportunity to get 2 at the free throw line.
Only player all year, partner, to lead his team in scoring in back-to-back games. It's been that kind of a balanced scoring effort for Cincinnati. Way short of that free throw. It's a team that struggled mightily to score last in the American Conference in points per game, only 63 a game. When that happened, 13 points against Nebraska and 12 against San Diego State. That's been it all year.
That's the first free throw he's missed in conference play. He was 15 for 15 before that.
And it was way off.
It wasn't even close.
Got 9 points in the game today. Shooting 87% from the line coming in. Wilson blocked away. Sanders, the big rejection. Loose change to Copain.
Great weak side help by Jermaine Sanders.
Kevin Johnson left loose on 3. Rattles it home. And a high five from Larry Davis on the way up court for Kevin Johnson. He's got 3 threes in the game. Timeout UCF.
And who do you think that pass came from? The guy that has taken over this game for the Cincinnati Bearcats has been Troy Copain. Dribble, drive, and then this time with the kick. But it all starts defensively with the weak side help with Sanders. And then Copain making the extra pass. Kevin Johnson with a second 3 in the second half.
20th deflection of the game there a moment ago for the UC defense. UConn won its game today against USF. How about Tulsa? The 9-game win streak, 7-0 in conference play. SMU not far behind, 6-game win streak with their win yesterday. Nick Moore had 28 points in the victory over Houston, 8 threes.
But Nick Moore, we know how good he is. I had a chance last night to watch Tulsa and East Carolina. And East Carolina played a diamond zone defense. And really, Tulsa struggled for most of that game, but they came out with a 2-point win. But when you go on the road and in any conference, it's tough. And then when you're going to an American, some of the places you go, very hard to play. And UCF has been able to bring it so far.
SMU's RPI at CBSSports.com today. 14 out of the bucket for Casey Wilson, who's got 12 in the game today, keeping the home team in it here with under 6 to go in the second half.
Coach Davis can't be excited about how easy that was for Casey Wilson to get in the paint and score. Just an easy dribble drive to the basket. Nobody at the rim meeting him, and that is not Cincinnati basketball. UCF dropping back in a 2-3 zone.
Five to shoot for Sanders. He's out of range. Johnson, way short. Casey Wilson, the rebound. Run out. Henriquez pulls up for three. That would have been big for UCF, but it rattles out.
That was great hustle by Octavius Ellis because Henriquez was wide open. Ellis sprinted to recover and had a hand up and really helped, you know, to get in the way of Henriquez. That would have been a big shot for the Knights.
Adonis, one of the top three-point shooters in the conference, only 1 of 5 from long range. Ellis can't hit the jump hook in the paint. Good one on the move. Knights are only 3 of 13, 23% from three-point range of the game. Henriquez kick out. Walker responds. Third three, Daquan Walker. He's got 11, 25 threes for the year. Knights still hanging around here, and then some.
You got to credit Henriquez with that because he skipped pass across instead of trying to take and create something off the dribble.
Every possession important now.
Copain is looking for Ellis down low.
Sanders selecting three short. Rebound, Goodwin.
No need to rush right now if you're UCF.
Wilson too strong, back iron.
I don't like that shot. I mean, Wilson's playing great, but you got to move it around and really go where you're getting easy shots.
Could have been a one-possession game. You're right about that. Pull the trigger too early. Because you know Cincinnati's going to take 30 seconds on the shot clock here. Ellis in the corner for Johnson. Too strong on a three. Ellis, big offensive rebound, is bumped down low.
I'll tell you what, Ellis did a great job of getting it, boxing out, and getting that rebound.
Time on the floor, Donnie Jones and UCF trying to draw up a win today against Cincinnati.
College basketball on CBS Sports Network is being brought to you by AT&T, mobilizing your world.
Fans, that time to turn your attention toward the board. It's time for the State Farm Double Check today's play of the game.
College basketball on CBS Sports Network is being brought to you by AT&T, mobilizing your world.
67 degrees for us Floridians. You have property down here. That's pretty chilly for January. We'll take it, though. A lot warmer than Cincinnati, my friend, right now. Let's take a look at today's Reese's Perfect Play.
The three ball has not been good to the Knights, but Daquan Walker hitting that jumper. He has been a little bit of a tonic from beyond the arc. The team is 4 for 15, but he is 3 for 5. So Daquan Walker will have some peanut butter and chocolate, brother.
Native of Philadelphia. A big game against Temple. 17 points, hit 3 threes. Has played very well in the last 2 games against Memphis and UConn. Daquan Walker. Our game reset. Possession arrow to the Bearcats. And the next foul for each means free throws. Copain inbound. Needs some help. Goodwin. So athletic. And helps cause the turnover. Brandon Goodwin's been everywhere. Really stepping his game up here in the second half.
And right now, that the defense and the crowd helping UCF stay in this game. And now they have to be smart. There's a lot of time. You don't need to force it. You don't need to rush. But you got to be cognizant of the fact that the Bearcats are in the passing lanes. You got a ball fake, but you cannot be afraid to get in the paint.
Enriquez looks for the skip, picked off by Clark. Ball deflected, Gary Clark, easy interception, and fouled on the way up to the basket.
Well, that is an important play for the Cincinnati Bearcats. A skip pass by Enriquez is tipped away by Sanders. That's a good play. I'm sorry about Clark. That's a reason why this Cincinnati Bearcat team is so tough. And it's a reason why I think that as the year progresses, they have a great shot in the American Conference and also a chance to get into the NCAA tournament.
Third foul called on Daquan Walker. And the 17th foul for UCF in the second half. Clark misses two. Wilson the rebound. By the way, we're up to 23 deflections unofficially for UC in this game. It's led to 11 UCF turnovers and 13 points off turnovers for the Bearcats. Goodwin floats again. Wow. Not close.
Well, I know it's important to have deflections, but if you're going to go 0 for 2 from the free throw line and you're not going to have empty possessions, it's not going to help. Clark only with 2 points here in the second half. They need Ellis and Clark to get in the paint and score either by making baskets or getting to the free throw line.
Copain on the bounce, looks for Clark, turnover. Ninth miscue of the game for Cincinnati. And Copain looks surprised there.
I sit here for a reason. I'm not a coach, but I'm Troy Copain. I get in the paint. Get the handle in the paint, try to kick out, try to take over the team. That was a good look inside, but it wasn't open. It was good defense by the Knights.
2-possession game, but key here for UCF to get something. Just over 2 to go in regulation. 15 to shoot for Daquan Walker. Enriquez with 10 to shoot. Pulls up the dribble. 5 to shoot. Walker's got to create something. Launches. Back iron. Clark up high for the rebound.
That's great defense. Not one time was the ball penetrated past the three-point line by UCF. That is what the Bearcats defense does. It really stymies your offense.
Larry Davis takes a timeout here. Talk things over with his Bearcats associate head coach taking over for Mick Cronin for the rest of the season. Coming up next, college basketball action continues on CBS Sports Network and American Athletic Conference Women's Showdown. Tulane at USF from Tampa, about 70 miles away from here. Only on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Tulane and the Bulls coming your way on CBS Sports Network.
Yeah, it's so important with the Cincinnati Bearcats. They have the lead. They're on the road. They're up by 4. They have to make sure they take a little time off the clock. But I really believe they have to get the ball in the paint by Copain dribble or pass into Ellis and Clark. And for UCF, when they have to play solid defense, eliminate any inside buckets, extend on the threes. But when they get down and they have to on offense, they have to get it in the shooting area. They're not anywhere near the basket. No dribble drive. They're settling for the 3 ball.
Leading the scorer, B.J. Taylor, only 11 minutes of action today. And 2 points, lost, concussion-like symptoms, has not returned. Enriquez hurt, but is back. That's the good news for the Knights.
Right now, the Bearcats can sit back. There's no reason. It's a zone. They can move behind it and look at the shot clock now with 7 seconds.
Ellis high post. Kick out. Sanders. Short. Tipped. Not there. Walker rebound. Looked for Goodwin for a moment on the run out. But Cincinnati's recovery in transition defense is fantastic. They get back so well.
Very quickly. Now let's see if the Knights can get the ball in the paint. There's a it's man-on-man with Blair and Ellis in the paint.
Timeout. Donnie Jones with 14 seconds left on the shot clock.
Well, you can see Donnie Jones is talking to Walker right now, telling him that the inside is open. You got to get the edge. You got to dribble, drive, and get the edge, which is not easy against the Bearcats. But you also got to look inside because Blair is open, and he's going against Ellis, who's strong. But you still got to go at him. And that was Cincinnati. Defensively, there's 14 seconds on the shot clock. They have to play solid defense. There's 14 seconds, and I wouldn't be surprised if they get a deflection on the out-of-bounds play. They're very, very good at tipping the ball away, especially after timeouts.
Game reset. Knights have the ball here with 14 to shoot. Pep Cronin, Mick's dad, with the team, home and on the road. It has been for several years now. High school coaching legend in Cincinnati, Steve's hometown.
Well, see this guy right there? That was Coach Tony Yates. Tony Yates coached there at the Cincinnati program for probably 7-8 years. He was the head coach before Bob Huggins. So he's on the road. I know exactly why he's here. I know Tony very well. He's here with his wife Maxine to probably play golf. As you'll see him right there, Tony with his golf hat on. Tony, he's right here. Tony's the guy that was on the 61 and 62 team. So Oscar didn't win the national championship. Tony Yates did win the national championship. Then went on to coach, assistant coach under Sweet Lou Henson at Illinois. Lives in Cincinnati, and now he is retired and doing the golf charity circuit, which is why he never buys any clothes. He's got all that swag.
Hope to be on that circuit one day. 10 to shoot. Knights have got to have something here, partner. 43 seconds and counting in regulation. 5 for Goodwin. Stripped away, comes right to Johnson. And a foul on Brandon Goodwin.
If you want to talk about identity, that is the Bearcat identity. Exactly what UCF wants. Getting the ball in the paint, great move, and tip it out of your hands by Troy Copain, and you're going the other way. That is the identity as you look at McBride and the UC bench. May have been their best opportunity.
Johnson gets the roll. Three threes in the game for Kevin Johnson, sophomore from Cincinnati. 5 times this year, now 10 in his career, double-figure scoring. Hit 2.
Big free throws by Kevin Johnson. And now it's still a 2-possession game, but you're going to have to probably look at a drive and a kick. Look for Walker Enriquez. Out of control.
Yeah, Goodwin just not even close in the layup. Wilson has to foul. Copain no choice with 28.3 to go. And free throws on the other end.
Larry Davis is emphatically yelling at his team to come over to the huddle. He doesn't want to take a timeout, but he wants to let them know what he expects out of them. Coaches every second of the game. You've got to be impressed with a guy that comes off the bench, as Larry Davis has been able to do, and take over a young team. This is a very young team. Chance for them to be as high up as they are in the American Conference, and then have a chance to go to the NCAA tournament. That's big time.
Copain shoots 87%, partner from the free throw line. Hits the first. He's got 10 points. That's just over that 9.9 per game average to lead Cincinnati. That's something.
He was a key. I mean, if they win this game, it was because of Troy Copain. When he came back off the bench after a little rest, took away some of his minutes, got him back in. He did a great job of leading this team.
Wow, lefty layup not close there for Walker. Rebound for Johnson in the final moments, and a foul again on UCF. And the Knights apparently will fall a little bit short again and lose their 5th straight head-to-head with Cincinnati. They've never beaten the Bearcats in school history.
Donnie Jones has his program poised to take off. He has great recruits coming in. He's got a 7'6", 280-pound center coming in. I mean, he'll get it done. Donnie Jones has won everywhere he's coached, but it's not his year this year, and they're very, very young. And it didn't help that one of his star players, a leading scorer, played less than 10 minutes in the game.
P.J. Taylor only 2 points. Injured. Enriquez in the final seconds. Wilson up top. Wow, another air ball. Unfortunately, last 3 possessions, the Knights didn't even hit the rim. And Cincinnati's about to win its 3rd straight. Move to 5-2 in the American Conference. 14-5 overall. The program with the number 30 RPI at CBSSports.com entry of the day. We'll see the number increase with an impressive 10-point road win against the Knights here in Orlando. 56-46. The 6th best defense in the country, again, stifling. 10-point win for UC. They take care of the Knights today. Now let's send you to USF Sundome for women's basketball in the American Conference. Tulane at USF here on CBS Sports Network.
Once again, fans, your final score, Bearcats 56. Tip time right here at the CFE Arena. Come on out, need that energy as UCF takes on Temple. 7 o'clock tip right here at CFE.